The disgraced former president and now president-elect Donald Trump will not face jail time for his felony conviction in the New York hush money case. A judge ruled today the decision concludes an historic yet anticlimactic chapter in the criminal proceedings just weeks before Trump's return to the White House. Judge Juan Merchan, who presided over Trump's criminal trial, sentenced him to unconditional discharge. This means the president-elect, found guilty of 34 counts of falsifying business records, will not face imprisonment, fines, or probation. While the sentence labels Trump a convicted felon, it carries no further penalties. Trump addressed the court about his conviction. Speaking to Judge Juan Merchan, he said, "This has been a very terrible experience. I think it's been a tremendous setback for New York, the New York court system. This is a case that Alvin Bragg did not want to bring. From what I read and what I hear, inappropriately handled before it got here. I called a legal fee a legal expense, and for this I got indicted. It's incredible, actually. They all said this case should never have been brought. It's an injustice," Trump said, referring to claims that legal scholars thought the Manhattan District Attorney's case was lacking. The legal scholars that he cited were all Trump supporters. Trump also claimed that the Justice Department was involved in the New York case, which is also a lie. The president-elect concluded by saying, "I was treated very, very unfairly," and told Merchan, "Thank you very much." Trump has played the victim through this and all of the legal cases against him, refusing to take accountability despite the evidence and expecting people to believe his ridiculous claims of victimization. Judge Juan Merchan sentenced Donald Trump to unconditional discharge in the election interference case, meaning he will avoid jail time, fines, or probation. This landmark case marks the first time in U.S. history that a president, former or sitting, has faced a criminal trial, received a guilty verdict, and undergone sentencing. Trump, whose inauguration is scheduled for January 20, was convicted on May 30th, 2024, of falsifying business records to conceal a second crime. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's office argued that Trump falsified financial records to hide reimbursements made to his former lawyer, Michael Cohen. These payments reimbursed Cohen for $130,000 given to adult film actress Stormy Daniels to silence allegations of an affair with Trump during his 2016 presidential campaign. These payments were falsely recorded as legal expenses. Prosecutors contended that these falsifications were intended to cover up a violation of New York election law, which prohibit promoting a candidate through unlawful means. They argued that the hush money amounted to an illegal campaign contribution exceeding the legal $2,700 limit for individual donations. Witnesses testified that Trump collaborated with National Enquirer publisher David Pecker and Cohen to suppress damaging stories about his alleged affairs with Daniels and former Playboy model Karen McDougal. Prosecutors claimed Trump's urgency increased after the release of the 2016 Access Hollywood tape, in which he boasted about sexually assaulting women. Cohen testified that managing such damaging information was a key part of his role, including addressing Daniels' attempt to sell her story. Today, outside the Manhattan courthouse, Trump supporters and protesters gathered, displaying banners and signs with opposing messages. Throughout the trial, Trump falsely characterized the case as a politically motivated witch hunt. His frequent public comments, despite a gag order prohibiting discussions about witnesses and jurors, led to fines and contempt rulings. Originally set for July 11, Trump's sentencing was delayed multiple times. The process became further complicated by a July 1st Supreme Court decision granting presidents broad immunity from criminal prosecution for official acts. This prompted debates over whether the ruling applied to a president-elect and delayed sentencing until after the November election. Following Trump's election victory, his legal team argued that sentencing would disrupt the transition of power. On January 3rd, Judge Merchan determined that there was no legal reason to dismiss the case, but decided that unconditional discharge was the most practical solution, citing concerns over presidential immunity. Merchan emphasized the importance of bringing the case to a conclusion, writing, "A jury heard evidence for nearly 7 weeks and pronounced its guilty verdict. Both sides had every opportunity to address intervening decisions and exhaust motions in this unprecedented scenario." While Trump remains a convicted felon, the case underscores the unique challenges of prosecuting a deranged president-elect. His legal team had already signaled plans to appeal, assuring the saga will probably continue, even as Trump prepares to take office as the first convicted felon ever to enter the White House. I'm Anthony Davis. You can find me on the 5 Minute News YouTube channel and podcast, on Wednesdays co-hosting Uncovered, and on Sunday on The Weekend Show with Midas Touch.